thank you all for joining the Top Gun Collector channel. My name is Al, and today's episode is going to be a little bit different from my previous uploads. Now, I'm referring to this as Phase 2, where I'll essentially be integrating statue collection room tours on the TGC channel, just so that we can all get a tour of many collections, consisting of Marvel, DC, anime, horror, etc., provided by collectors throughout the statue community. And I figure what better way to kick this off than by giving you all a tour of my collection, which is going to consist of, taking a look at what I have as my backdrop, a tour of my movie-based statue collection section, and lastly, a tour of my home office, where I have majority of my comic-based statues. And one last thing, as a token of appreciation for all the followers, the subscribers of the TGC channel, I am going to be giving away multiple statues on this channel, so just make sure to stick around until the end of the video so you can learn more. And without further ado, let's go right ahead and get started. Alright, so we'll go right ahead and get started by looking at the backdrop area for most of my current YouTube reviews. Now, first up is the 1/6 scale Superman maquette by Tweeterhead. Alright, so when I was putting this backdrop together, I envisioned having the Trinity here, and in place of Wonder Woman, I added a statue of the Lady of Justice, since she's more in line with my profession. Up next we have the Birth of Batman canvas print. This one is distributed by Sideshow Collectibles. Artist is Alan Williams. At the time of this recording, this one does appear to be still available, so I'll drop a link in the description below. Alright, and that pretty much does it for what I have on display for my backdrop. So we'll go right ahead and move over to my movie-based statue collection. So here we are in my living room area, where in the back I have one shelf with a few movie-based statues. But before we go into that, I'll show you all a few art prints I have on display. Here we're looking at the Universal Monsters variant art print. This is done by Vice Press. Alright, and this print is called The Snap, which depicts the final moments of RDJ's Iron Man in Endgame. Now this one's done by Victor Garduno. Alright, next we're looking at the Crusader. This one is also done by Victor Garduno. And lastly that I have on this wall is a poster for Zack Snyder's Justice League. And right down here I have, it's just a shelf with a few Blu-rays, and on top of that I just have a few bobbleheads or gifts that I may have gotten here and there. Now one thing I did want to point out is over here on the right side I do have a Batman figure that I got from my mom probably when I was like 2 or 3 years old, so that's the oldest collectible I have. And next we're looking at my entertainment center. Now I did used to have some smaller scale pieces displayed on here. Currently have those in my work office. At the moment I do have a 1/18 scale die-cast replica of my Camaro SS. Now I have it displayed in like a showroom type case. If anyone's into this kind of stuff or wants to purchase this type of display, I'll drop a link in the description below. So here we're looking at my movie-based statue collection, and we'll go right ahead and get started by first taking a look at 2 pieces from Zack Snyder's Justice League. So first up is the 1/3 scale Batman Tactical Batsuit by Prime 1 Studio. Up next, we're looking at the 1/3 scale black suit Superman by Prime 1 Studio. Alright, up next we'll look at my 1/3 scale Jungle Hunter Predator by Prime 1 Studios. Now, this is the DX bonus version plus the additional closed mouth bust display. Now, I actually did a full review on this one, so if that's something you're interested in looking at, I'll drop a link in the description below and or on the top right hand corner of the screen. Up next is the 1/3 scale Big Chap Alien by Prime One Studio. This is the DX version as well. I also recently did a review on this one, so if that's something you're interested in, I'll drop a link in the description below and or on the top right hand corner of the screen. Up next we have the 1/4 scale Hulkbuster by Queen Studios. Alright, so that's pretty much all of my movie-based pieces at the moment. We're going to go right ahead and move over to my home office where I have majority of my collection, which is mostly comic-based statues. Alright, lastly, we'll take a look at my home office where I keep majority of my collection. With exception to one piece, all of these are comic-based pieces. Now, one thing to note regarding all the shelving, ceiling lights, puck lights, RGB lights, etc. If you're interested in, how or what I use for my displays, just take a look at the description below. I'll add some links. So here, just giving you a quick view of the whole collection before I go into each specific piece. So up first is a 1:1 scale Spawn movie bust by AMA Panda Studio. Up next, we have the 1/3 scale Raphael by PCS. Now, I do have a review up on my channel for this piece, so if you're interested, I'll drop the link in the description below or on the top right hand corner of the screen. Next, we'll take a look at my DC wall. And first up is Detective Batman 1000 by Prime One Studio. This is the DX version, and I also did a review on this one for the channel, so if you're interested in looking at that, I'll drop a link in the description below. Alright, so up next I have the 1/3 scale Batman vs. Joker Dragon by Prime 1 Studio. Up next is the 1/3 scale Superman Hush by Prime 1 Studio. Lastly, on display on my DC wall is the 1/3 scale Superman vs. Doomsday by Prime 1 Studio. Now, I actually did a full review on this one, so if that's something you're interested in, I'll drop a link in the description below. And here on this wall, I have a few art prints, including this Batman art print by an artist called Necro13. And next to that, I have just a few prints that I either picked up from Hobby Lobby or received, as gifts. And next to that, I have, it's the original 7 art print done by, I'd say, one of the best artists in the comic industry, which is Alex Ross. Great, outstanding print. And yeah, again, right next to that, just a couple art prints either I picked up from Hobby Lobby or received as gifts. Here we're looking at my home office desk area with, of course, the Dark Knight Secret Labs chair. Very comfortable. I've had this one for, I'd say, about 3-4 years now. No issues, no cracks. Very well constructed. Up next, we're looking at my Thanos on Throne setup. Now, of course, the star of the show being Thanos, that's done by Sideshow Collectibles. Next to him is XM Lady Death. And around them, it's pretty much just all custom pieces. I did do a full review on this, so if you're interested, I'll drop a link in the description below. Alright, up next we have the 1/4 scale Green Scar Hulk by Queen Studios. Alright, next we are looking at the 1/3 scale Captain America by Legendary Beast Studio. Alright, up next we have the 1/3 scale Magneto by Legendary Beast Studio. I actually did a full review on this one, so if that's something you're interested in, I'll drop a link in the description below. Alright, and right next to Captain America, I do have Iron Man helmet as a placeholder. But right next to him, I have I believe this one's unscaled, or it may be a 1/4 scale, not quite sure. This is an older piece. It's Throg. Some of them probably just know this guy as Thor Frog. This is done by Sideshow Collectibles. Alright, and of course, right next to Throg, I have the 1/3 scale Thor by Legendary Beast Studio. I feel like this is kind of the piece that pretty much put them on the map, especially with these storytelling bases. It seems like more custom groups and even licensed companies started implementing this in their pieces. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with that DC line. Alright, and lastly here on my Marvel wall is the 1/3 scale Cyclops by Legendary Beast Studio. Now I actually did a full review on this one as well, so if that's something that you're interested in viewing, I'll drop a link in the description below. Alright, so that pretty much concludes all of my comic based pieces, but I'll go right ahead and show you all just a quick shot of the full display. So I hope you all enjoy the first of many statue collection tours that are going to be on the TGC channel. Now, for those of you that stick around to the end of the video, I want to give you a few details on the TGC giveaways. So I have set a few subscriber goals for myself, and essentially once I hit a certain number of subscribers, one lucky winner will receive the following. So once I hit each of those subscriber goals, I'll go live here on YouTube, pick one random video, and using a random comment generator, one lucky person that is subscribed and who commented on that video will have the opportunity to pick from 20 to 30 different statues that are brand new and will ship directly from my retailer. Man, that's it. So again, I want to thank you all for joining me on today's tour and hope to catch you all on the next one.